Thanks for being here. This was a tough commute because I live right over there. So, love having these meetings, and even I was almost late though. You're like, I can sleep in like 10 minutes, something like that. But transportation system out here is fabulous. So, yeah. So thanks for coming out here, and with Dan, it's a privilege, a pleasure to serve you and represent you in Olympia. My first term when I was elected in 2012, I ended up more on a lot of policy committees, and then in this term, somebody in my leadership got the bright idea I should be on the budget side, which is far less sexy, and I can show you Excel sheets, and that'd be great, right? But here's an interesting thing: I don't even use Excel in the House, and so you wonder why the budget takes a while. And Senator Andy Hill actually changed that in the Senate. You guys actually use a spreadsheet now. So the House is lagging, but we'll get there. You know, we did go to the special session this year. It's a supplemental budget, so we're operating under the same budget we passed last year. You make changes based on what's going on in the economy, with revenue forecasts, with caseloads for our agencies. And then if you have extraordinary expenses that have come up, such as the wildfires last year, and we use the budget stabilization account, or more commonly referred to as the rainy day fund, and that's there to use for emergencies. And so we tapped that for the wildfires. I think that was the right thing to do. One of the issues that caused the special session was there was some in the legislature that wanted to use the rainy day fund for other ongoing expenses, kind of like, wow, we're going to open that account, let's see what else we can do. And there was a philosophical difference on that. I don't think we should do that. And at the end of the day, we prevailed and just used it for the emergencies that had occurred in this past year. So I think that's good as well. And you know, you hear the special session. I don't like it. Nobody likes them. But you know, put it in the context of what was the final result. And since I've been down there, and Senator Shelton has the history on this much better than I do, but these budgets that we've passed have been darn close to unanimous. You know, and so, you know, some could get rammed through and we could be done on time and have in the House a 50 to 48 vote and not a lot of buy-in. You know, but we did things right, and I don't remember what the final vote was in the House, but I think there was like 6 or 7 no votes. You know, so it was, you know, 90, whatever that math is, 91 to 6, 91 to 7. You know, so fairly strong bipartisan vote, and the same in the Senate. So that's going on. So, you know, we've done some additional addressing of education, and we've got Cleary still staring us in the face. And I'll come back to that in a second. But higher education, in the 2013 to 15 biennium, we froze higher education tuition, and in this biennium, it was lowered on average 20%. And huge improvement. Higher education costs in the state are tremendous, and I am glad to see that we're on the path to bringing that down. On the K-12 issue, we still got work to do. And I think that you know, on Friday, Dan and I spent the day at 7 or 8 stops in different businesses, including the North Mason School District. Spent a lot of time there talking education reform with the superintendent, and you know, it's just time that we kind of, I think, turn things on its head. It's always great to throw out, well, Dan knows this, I don't know if Tim and I haven't talked about this, but it's always great to say, hey, here's a great overhaul that I want to propose next year. For the first time, but you know, in a nutshell, I said, you know, we should let's allocate the dollars per student and get out of the way and let the districts go implement. And it's time to just go towards that system, and whatever that math comes out to, if that's 12,000 a head, you know, we need to work through some of that. I'm being very, very high level. I'm not going into the details on that, but the state needs to get out of the way, and I think that's a huge part of the problem. And you look at what's happening in North Mason, and if you haven't gone through that new high school, do it. It's incredible. Any kid that's going there should be proud to be there for sure. And to me, that's just a shining example. They're not worried about the levee cliff, and all those issues going on. They've managed things well, and that to me is an example of how the state should run. And it's nice to have that right here in Mason County. The other big thing that's happened this past biennium is the transportation budget. And you know, for me, I voted no. I have a hard time with you know, when we have half of our population commuting outside this county every day for a job, and we're going to put another tax on top of them. And then not have any significant reforms in DOT. And for those reasons, I was a no vote. I wasn't no against the Belfair bypass. We certainly need it. But I want to point this out. On the Seattle Tunnel project, the City of Seattle is responsible for cost overruns. But last year, we had to take a vote, I voted no, to take care of cost overruns. Last time I checked, Olympia is not the city of Seattle, and that was $60 million. That was enough to pay for the Belfair bypass without doing the transportation package. But that ship has sailed. We have a significant, did we need to do transportation improvements and do a significant investment in this state? Absolutely, without question. I don't like the way the process went and the lack of reforms that went with it. I think we could have done it much cheaper. And on this whole transportation issue, I've got to axe the grind with the DOT. Here's I was talking about this earlier. And Sound Transit is not DOT, but to me they operate with that same mentality. In 2016 dollars, it cost $2.5 billion to build the Transcontinental Railroad from coast to coast. Sound Transit is going to spend $50 billion to give you light rail from downtown Seattle to Edmonds. And that's the same mentality that's prevalent in DOT. And granted, as I said earlier, the labor was a little different with the Transcontinental Railroad, so maybe instead of $2.5 billion, it should have been $5 billion. But the point is, things we've gotten out of this habit. The Skagit River Bridge collapse a couple of years ago, and the process that we did to fix that, that brand new bridge was in there 6 months later. If you look at most DOT projects, it's 10 years from conception till shovel dig. But we waived a lot of the stuff that we just realized aren't needed, and that's the system we need to go to. When we talk about having efficient government, it's not about axing all these employees. That sometimes that mentality gets out there that, we're just going to cut state government by the people. That's not. No, it's operating with what makes sense and going in that direction. So I want to continue on that track, and again, privileged to serve you. Look forward to the questions after Senator Shelton, and we'll go from there. And just appreciate everything you guys do in the business community to keep it thriving and get this real estate market fired up. It just shows that the spark that's in this community, and again, thanks to Sierra Pacific and taking the investment in our community. And I think that speaks volumes to the people here. So thank you.